And somebody defined some of your works as metafiction, you know?
Yes.
In which way, why is it so interesting that? I find it also interesting, you know, this kind of approach to fiction.
Well, it's fiction about fiction,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, or it's fiction about the rules of fiction. You know, which is easy, which is interesting, I think, and it's easier to write about fiction than to write fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if easier is the right word, but it seems very chic.
And yeah, and okay, don't worry. All this, and we can cut it away afterwards in the interview.
Yeah.
So we are not live, and
Okay,
we
good,
can.
yeah.
I tell it to myself, of course. Is there something that you perceive as extremely pleasant? I mean, something that, in any condition, turns out to be pleasant for you?
Well, there are a lot of things, but I rarely get a grip on them.
So you can't hunt for them because you don't know which they are.
I hunt for what I think should be pleasant, but very often it's not.
Yes. So this is. So you can't have a destination. In you know, you cannot decide. I want to go there. I want to do. You know.
Well, in a sense, you have to. You have to go there if you're going somewhere. But that doesn't mean there will do anything much for you.
So actually you finish up always somewhere else.
Yes, yes. In your head, anyway.
Yes, of course, we are talking only about our head. We
Yeah.
don't really believe that
Yeah.
something outside has a real role.
I don't know
Your
what
life.
what would be truly satisfying. I see that movie stars don't last very long in their relationships. The wealthy people I've known who can afford huge boats and exquisite food don't seem especially happy. Happiness perhaps is something you impose on yourself. You say to yourself, you will be happy, and if you're smart enough, you are happy.
Yes, but if you're smart enough, you are happy anyway.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yes, you establish targets to be happy, and since you have established them, they don't work.
No, but you do have to establish something, and sometimes the best you can do is to get the shadow rather than the substance.
Mm-hmm. And about good and evil, are these concepts that make a sense for you, or and if which kind of sense?
They make very good story sense.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So for the writer, they are very useful.
Yes.
And for Robert,
Not too useful. I lived in a world in which pretty much everybody I know does the best they can do, and the least harm they can do also. But to harm other people is inevitable.
yes, but if it is unintentional, it has nothing to do with evil.
Exactly, yes. Evil,
Evil.
in my life, is a sort of an abstraction. Now, some authors do very well writing about evil. You know, there are a lot of people who make their livelihood writing about serial killers, which is about as close to evil as you can find these days. That's a kind of science fiction also, though, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are living in an age in which evil has been put again on stage.
Yes, yes.
To do his part.
We're quite fascinated with evil. perhaps because we can't be very good, so maybe in our secret hearts we want to be very evil. But then people kill you, so that doesn't work.
How would the hell look like if it would exist? Do you believe it exists?
It would look like a living room with a lot of people talking at the same time, 3 televisions going, and you're out of cigarettes.
Well, I suppose it's banal to ask how the paradise would like. But, you know, since a lot of people just think at a little garden and a little river, I will ask the question to you. The archetypical.
It's the same thing, only you're enjoying the cocktail party more, and the television is turned off and there are cigarettes.
That's a great answer.
Maybe there are even Havana cigars. Heaven is a place where partagas are free.
Have you kept accountability of the Sheklis that you have been? This means all these rivers of identity that may have flown through you in time?
Not really. I don't think about it much. I suppose there's some record of that in my journals, because I keep on writing them. But I keep on losing them also, so who knows? But that's a sign of my character also.
This means that all these characters that you have been don't matter so much for you?
No. The only me I sort of care about is the me sitting here right now.
Well, I can testimony that it exists. So probably it's the most important one.
Well, for me it is, yes.
So you don't get, you're not a victim of the delusion of identity, or how much are you of your own identity?
Well, I try to stay away from that. I think it's dangerous territory. It's hard here. I mean, I like being interviewed, but there's a great danger in thinking that you're important. And if you're the subject of an interview, that means in some sense you are important, which means that in some sense you're a liar.